going to explain you my teaching project that is called Your Little Wonderland. First of all, the epistemic design of the task in order to use the ECAT framework is quite simple. The task is divided into three main parts. In the first one, students will learn the territorial organization in Spain and some other countries of the world, knowing also the capitals, flags, and culture using a tool called Seterra. Seterra is an educational game about geography that allows the children to do more than 400 quizzes about countries, capitals, flags, and also lakes and oceans. Seterra is available in App Store and Google Play, but also has a web page in which they can do quizzes without the application download or with a computer. In this part of the task, the children also need to watch a YouTube video called Form of Government to learn about some types of political system in Spain and in other countries. In the second part of the activity, the students have to demonstrate what they learned in the part 1, and for that, they need to show their creativity making their own country. For that, they need to investigate and think about the name of the country, create the flag of it, the form of government that it will have, and decide the main things related with the culture. In this part, the students will use Edmodo to be connected to each other and with me, the teacher. Edmodo, as Seterra, is available as an app, but also online, and it's quite similar to Google Classroom. It's a tool that allows teachers to be more connected with class in an online way. This space will be like our social profile. They can use it to post the progress of each fictitious country and create hype between their classmates. They also can find there all the resources and explanation that they need to make the task, like this presentation. And in the third and the final part, they need to update a final presentation to Edmodo using the tool Genially to make an interactive image to represent all the important things that they want to show about the country they create. After this, they present to the rest of the class the image, and all the students vote for the one that is the best to travel and live there. Related with the social design of the assignment, it will be made in a group of 24 students divided in 6 groups of 4 people that they could choose. Each group will have determined roles that they need to play. One needs to be the president, and this student has to do all the representative things in the task. He or she is in charge of updating the final word link to Edmodo as the teacher if the group has some doubt or be the main presenter in class. Another one is the interior minister that is in charge of documenting all the process of the work and update it to Edmodo. The third role that is played for 2 students is called the tourist, that is in charge of recollecting all the information from the other groups and taking all the characteristics of the other countries into account to vote. In addition, and regarding to the social design, the students need a computer or a tablet to do the task. The task is developed in class, making debates, working in little groups, and acting out, but also they can do it at home via Edmodo. To show all of that, I'm going to show you the work made for the group called The Queens. It's made for Olivia Rodriguez, Encarna Tobar, Alicia Reinaldos, and Ana Reverte, 4 students, or 4th A of primary education. Firstly, the girls read the PowerPoint upload to Edmodo, where I explain tasks and working with the app Seterra, doing a lot of quizzes and asking for help. They record the screen to let us know how the app works. The girls also watch the video about the forms of government, and this is the notes that they make about it. Later, in the second part, Olivia, as the interior minister, shared with us in Edmodo how the flag of the country is, that they made first by hand, and the shape of it. And finally, the name of the country, the Zimbabwe. Alicia, as the role of the president, sent me the final work by Edmodo and asked me for private message about some things to improve their work. Finally, on the last day, preparing the task, Alicia presented the interactive image in class, and the other members in the group start to watch the other classmate feedback. Encarna and Anna take notes of the other presentations and decide to vote for another country, called Milolandia. Related to the ethical problems, in spite of the lots of applications that the kids use, they only need to have an account in Edmodo and in Genially, in which the data is saved. The email accounts of the students are generated automatically, and it's the educational center that provides the accounts to the students. Also, the tool Seterra doesn't need to log in to be used, and the accounts and publication that the student make in Edmodo are supervised by the teacher. And also, taking into account the ethics classification in stars of each application, we can say that Seterra have 4 stars, Edmodo have 4 stars, YouTube have 4 stars also, and Genially have 3. The added value of using digital tools in this task is the easy way to communicate and publish your daily progress, but also show the other one's progression. I also think that tools like Genially help a lot of children to be interested in creative tasks like this, because nowadays it's so important to provide new tools and methodologies to get people attached with projects. Related to all these pandemic situations, it was so important for me to make a task that could be made from home, and I think that I will make it possible with your little Wonderland. This task will be the same from home. The debates and talks could be by chats in Modo, and the final presentation in front of the class could be by Zoom, Skype, or other application that the most students could use. This task will be evaluated taking into account the competencies of the subject or social science that I'm going to name. The competencies, contents, and standards from the curriculum that this task evaluate involve the whole block 3, called Vivir en Sociedad, and some standards of the block 1, called Contenidos Comunes. I'm going to show you exactly what they are. Taking into account all of that, I make the following rubric to evaluate the kids the 90% of the final score of the task, adding to that the score that they put to each other to complete the other 10%. For me, the 5 critical elements that I would like to include in my PLE are the Pechacucha presentations, because it's a good way to make the thing that you are presenting short but complete. The ECAT framework, because as Goodyear and all said, offer a practical approach to analyzing complex learning situations in a way that can generate knowledge that is reusable in subsequent redesign work, and that allow me to make tasks in a complete way, but knowing all the elements, very precise. I also want to include the tool Slides Go, because it helps a lot with the aesthetic of the assignments, the blog as a tool to document all the process, because I think that is one of the best ways to know all of the factors that occurs in a task, and then finally the use of roles to organize the work of the students in a task, because it's so interesting that everyone can be in the spotlight and in the background in spite of their personalities. If I had to choose 3 aspects or elements of the teaching competence for a digital world that are more relevant, the ones I choose are the following. Able to use technology to expand his/her relationship with the student's family and environment. It means to coordinate the efforts of the students improving their environment, helping with familiars and friends, and also to make them have positive environments. All of that makes children more focused and in a better condition to learn, and this is the main reason for me to believe that it's so essential. Generator and manager of emerging educational practice. This means that the teacher not only uses technology to improve their own strategies, he or she also proposes and develops practice and tasks for children that involve technology, which is crucial to have a complete learning. Without a complete learning, you can be a teacher in digital world. Finally, sensitive to the use of technology from the social commitment perspective. The meaning of this is that the teacher needs to know the social and ethical imperatives of his or her time, which means much more to me, because it's very important to be conscious, and it's essential to know what is the time of the history that you're living, and knowing that, applicate it in your teaching methodology. I believe that the more that I earn is an age because I work a lot on this subject, but I also think that sometimes I can do much more. For example, be more creative or going deep in the concept. But also, this is so difficult because I have too much to do and maybe I need to organize better my time. The most important role I perform is the facilitator. In my opinion, it's so important have someone to really search for information and know more about the contents before starting to do everything. And in this case, much more because the situation makes us need to do everything without a lot of time. Definite life for me, the most challenging role I perform is also the facilitator one, because the time we have to do each task makes the facilitator an indispensable role, doing all the division of the labor and helping everyone of the group with the task. For me, this is a very difficult work because it's complicated to know all the things that are going on, organize all of it, and also facilitate the others' work. This is the end of my final exam. I hope that you enjoy watching it as much as I enjoy doing it.